Hey guys, so I want to do a video on tipping, because apparently from what I've come to realize, not a lot of people in America or wherever know how to tip very well, and it's frustrating for me and my boyfriend, who are both waiters, when we have tables that think they're tipping really good and really they're not. Compliments are not tips. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, I mean, it's nice getting compliments and everything, but if it doesn't show up in the tips, we don't really care. Kidding. Anyways, he's working right now, so, I'm hoping he has good tippers today. But just a couple of things to keep in mind. Like, maybe you have a new waiter when you go into a restaurant. They're still figuring everything out. Even if you're there for a couple months, you still mess up. Everybody makes mistakes. We forget things. Whatever. Also, when you're going out to eat and you're on your phone when you sit down at your table, your waiter's supposed to come up within the first couple minutes you sit down. Well, more so in the first minute. They're supposed to be always watching their table, so they'll be right there or whatever. But if you're on your phone when we walk up to you to greet you and everything, it makes our life difficult, and we just stand there kind of awkwardly. We're just like, okay, what do we do? This person is like, not even paying attention. Or, if you're in a big group of people and you're all talking and whatever and hooting and hollering, and we're just like, okay, cat, get off. Sorry, I have a cat on me. Yeah, when there's a bunch of you and we're trying to talk to y'all and greet y'all, find out what y'all want to drink or eat or whatever, it's frustrating, Like, come on, just take 2 seconds to settle down and let us take care of you. We'll be out of your hair in a much shorter time if you're paying attention to us than it would take for us to just stand there awkwardly and wait for you to, tell us what you want or to listen to us or whatever. Also, if you're going in, take some money, okay? You should always, no matter what, always tip at least 10% of your bill. I don't care if the service absolutely sucks. We're spending our time on you, trying to get you what you need. We're trying to do the right thing. Tip is at least 10%. We got bills to pay. We live off of other people's generosity, okay? If you tip anything less than 10%, then you're just asking for your tip to be thrown back at your face, because, sorry, I gotta adjust. Oh, I hate this couch. Ugh. Yeah, so you're just asking for us to throw back at you, because, I've never personally done it 1 and 2 before when I've been tipped in change, or tipped $1 on a $63 bill. Bullshit. Yeah, wanted to throw the tip back in their face, like, you know what, screw you, I don't need this. If you're not going to tip at least 10%, don't tip me at all. Always tip. Okay, so, it's frustrating. Okay, you gotta tip 10%. Another thing, if you really like your waiter and the service they give you, tip them more. Especially on big bills. I can't tell you how many people I wait on that have huge bills. Because where I work at, it can get pretty expensive. I'm not going to tell you where. I can tell you it's in the Houston area of Texas. Not going any farther into detail than that. Yeah, but on big bills, it's frustrating when they're like, oh, I just spent all this money, why should I have to tip a lot? I'm just going to tip them like a couple bucks, or like $10 or 15, or it's like, come on, not only are you spending a lot of money, I get it, it sucks spending a lot of money, but if you're in there for a celebration or whatever, you gotta tip. We're gonna be like, oh, congratulations on the new job, happy birthday, or whatever it is. Even if you're, hell, if you're meeting a cousin you haven't seen in 50 years, happened earlier this week, still tip good. We're there to take care of you, we're there to get you everything you need. Go ahead and tip us, Also keep in mind, we don't make your food. The closest we get to your food is when we put it in the computer and we bring it out of the kitchen, We have someone in the kitchen that makes it, someone in the kitchen that takes it, puts it on a tray for us, and then we carry it out to you. And sometimes we're too busy to check it over, you know, when it's slow, yeah, we'll look at everything, we'll check over the food and make sure everything's right. If not, we'll send it back and we'll come out like, hey guys, you know, this got messed up, they're fixing it real quick, it'll just be a couple more minutes, whatever. But for the most part, we try to check your food, make sure everything's correct. If we weren't sure on something, you know, we thought you meant one thing, but you really meant something else, which does happen a lot, you know, we'll apologize, we'll take it back and get you what you really wanted. So, you know, just keep in mind, we don't make your food. We only put it in the computer, we put it in the best we can to fit what you need or what you want, and then we bring it out to you. Sometimes if you're extremely picky on what you want, you know, it's harder to get everything right. Also, when you're looking at the menu, and, you know, sometimes, like, with Tex-Mex, it'll have, like, a thing that says enchiladas, kind of giving a hint of what I work at, where I work, whatever, I'm not going to say the place. It'll say, like, enchiladas, and then it'll have a list of the kinds, like, you know, brisket, chicken, seafood, you know, all this different stuff. If you just point at it, or say, you know, I just want the brisket, I want the brisket. It's like, brisket what? Tacos? Enchiladas? Fajitas? I don't know what you're saying, dude. Like, come on, you can't just say I want the brisket or I want the seafood. Like, okay, I'm gonna surprise you. Like, you're definitely not gonna get what you want. So, be clear on what you want. You know? If you want to change something and you're not sure if you can, ask. We can tell you what you can and cannot do with the food. Like, don't worry about it. Just ask us any question. We'll answer it for you the best we can. Okay? Another thing is, you know, oh, this happened the other day. If you're looking at one thing and you really want something else, this is another important part of being clear on what you want. My boyfriend was working and, you know, he had a table, some lady was pointing at the brisket enchiladas. And she's like, you know, I want this. She meant the brisket tacos. You know, simple thing, you know, no big deal or whatever. Just be clear on what you want. Also, think about it. We have other tables other than just you. I mean, unless you're a big party, then you might be the only table we have. Or, you know, if it's slow, you could be. But for the most part, we usually have more tables than just you. And, you know, we got to get things for them too. They might be picky. You might be picky. I've had, you know, 2 extremely picky, needy tables. You know, I try to get them stuff as fast as I could, try to consolidate, go to each table, see what they need, run and get it. You know, one thing was right around the corner from one of my tables, you know, so I went and grabbed it, brought it back to the other one. The other table just interrupts, like, excuse me, you were supposed to be bringing me this. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you know, I haven't made it over there yet. Give me 2 seconds. You know, you just told me literally less than 10 seconds ago what you wanted. Give me 30 seconds to at least go and get it. Like, sorry, you gotta give us waiters time. We're not, what is his name, Flash, the fucking superhero that can run faster than the speed of light. No, we can't do that. You know, we're not even allowed to run in the restaurant. We can walk fast, but at the same time, there's people walking around, there's people carrying trays. You know, we got to be cautious of what we're doing. We can't just be running over everybody, running over kids that are playing, you know. We got to get through tables and all this other stuff. There's so much we have to do and worry about that, you know, it gets frustrating when our tables are so needy and they just give us a hard time. It's like we're working as hard as we can, we're doing everything as fast as we can. You can at least be a little appreciative of us. I mean, we're going to do what we can. We're going to do everything that we can for you. And I mean, some waiters have, you know, a little bit of a short temper. I myself, I'll get frustrated, you know, I'll get pissed off, but at the same time, when I go up to my table, I'm going to be smiling, I'm going to, you know, compliment y'all, whatever. You know, I've been a waiter for a couple years now. You know, I've had other jobs, so I know how retail is, I know how grocery stores are. You know, I've worked in a bunch of places, but mostly I've worked in restaurants. And I know the deal of it pretty well. You know, every restaurant's a lot alike. The only difference is the computer systems and people in the menus. Other than that, it's basically the same thing. And it's all stressful. So, also something just about no one knows. Like when I worked back at Target, this is something when I applied there and they're, interviewing me and everything, they were surprised that I only was paid $2.13 an hour for being a waitress. They thought we were paid at least minimum wage. No. Places that go off of tip, like restaurants, we're only paid $2.13 an hour. And so that's why I say we live off of other people's generosity. And if you're going to be rude to us and picky and make our life difficult when we're trying to give you everything, then, we're not going to get by very easily. This is why a lot of people work 2 jobs when they're a waiter. Either 2 waiting jobs or 2 jobs, or their waiting job and babysitting or lifeguarding. Or, for me, I do photography. I'm working on building my photography business while waiting tables and writing a book. I'm trying to get my life in order and at the same time listen to other people's problems. And when you go into a restaurant and you start talking to your waiter, sometimes you talk about the issues going on. We're easy to talk to. We're going to listen and we're going to share, what we have. Waiters are actually very intelligent. Some waiters are very intelligent. Some just have a lot of experience. It depends. But, yeah, that's about it. When you go in, make sure you have money to tip. And if you don't go out. So, and if you get anything taken off your bill, you should tip what's taken off, at least. Yeah, if your waiter does a great job, tip them good. I mean, if you have a small bill and you have money, say you had a $20 bill, you love the service, tip them $10. Make someone's day. I don't get a lot of tables that make my day. I get very lucky if I have one good table a night that I absolutely love, that makes me laugh, that, gives me a good tip. Either I can have a good table that really likes me, tip me okay, or I can have a crappy table that tips me shit. Last night I got lucky, had 2 tables actually back to back that absolutely loved them. They loved me. We made each other laugh, shared some stories, and they tipped me really good. I love people like that, and for that I'm going to say, come back and see me. You know where I work, you know how my waiting is. Come see me again. I'll be even better to you then. And maybe I'll learn your regulars order or whatever. So, just things to keep in mind. We're people too. We have stressful lives. We have lives outside of work, just like you do. Only the difference is, your job, you probably have minimum wage or better. And you might get paid $15 an hour for all I know. So we're not. We live off of generosity. Some days we make minimum wage. Some days we make less. Other days we make, it's possible to make $20 an hour. Depending on tips. And we also have to tip out other people. So keep that in mind. Be nice to your waiters. Tip your waiters. That's why people always say tip your waiters. And yeah, that's it. Just learn how to tip properly. At least 10%, guys. If you're ever in the Houston area and you want to come see me at work, shoot me a message. I'll let you know what day I'm working, and yeah, you can come and tip me, because I'm a college student. I'm trying to get by. I live on my own. Might as well tip me. Kidding. Okay, peace out, guys.